We're back. We're back, everyone. Good to see you.
Round 6. So just over the halfway point. So 8 rounds of Swiss today and a top 8. Will is on in the shout for a top 8 run here. So currently sitting at 4-1. Jack last round was on table number 1, but unfortunately lost. So is now down to 4-1. But that means we get to see them play against Will.
Yes. So in UK Magic lore, this is Chad Goldie of Chad Magic playing Will Hall of the Will Hall Experience. Who takes the bragging rights home? We shall see as we head to the next round. Chat, thank you for hanging around. There's been a bunch of you throughout the day. Like, it's too many to name. At some point, so let's just take a quick look at the YouTube. The YouTube's at 629, right? So the YouTube's at 629. I'll tell you what, when youtube.com/oldiemoredave goes over 631, we'll give away some more Magic online points. So yeah, you'll see it spammed in the chat. Charlie's doing a great job on moderating today. If you want to have play points given away, if you are watching on YouTube, just hit the sub button. If you watch on Twitch, just click that link and go over and see us, and then we'll do a quick giveaway. We'll do a fun one though, where you won't just get them by clicking raffle. We'll objectively decide who's the coolest by how you respond to something.
So we had a Thought Seize on turn 1 from Will that got spell pierced into a Psychic Frog as the follow-up.
It looks like Grixis Reanimator again, doesn't it?
It could be Grixis Reanimator, but I'm not sure that deck can play spell pierce. So Archon discarded, that gives us the answer. So in response to the Fatal Push, and we'll wait and see, is there a Persist? 2 lands get tapped here, then we're going to be sad. So we'll Surveil, leave that on top, and Persist the Archon. So Will's face camera zoomed in, so I'm just going to go sort that. So Dave is going to have to carry the commentary just momentarily.
I can do this. What happens, chat, right, is these cameras are so smart, they'll auto zoom on you if you gesture at them. Will gestured slightly, and we'll need to turn that off at some point. But all about tempo and all about fighting fire with fire here. The Axion getting out. You think it didn't work? You'll see a little light on the camera go. Sorry, we just got Scott sorting out the commentary here, but that's a really great start from Jack. Like, to have the Axion out from the Persist. There we go. The camera is back and it's moving. Decklists will be posted after stream, Valorman, sorry. This is a closed decklist tournament, but we've been watching Will all day. Will is on some variant of Esper Reanimator. And yeah, it's good. And then we're guessing Jack is on Grixis Reanimator, but it's Grixis Reanimator. Like, I think we can decide that now. We've seen Emperor Bones and we've seen Axion. So we're seeing a Solitude onto the Axion.
So Emperor Bones is eating the Flicker Wisp. That is in response to the exile, so not allowing the old adapt Flicker my Archon in response.
Correct.
These Grixis decks having access to Flicker Wisp is pretty good. Unearth on the Psychic Frog is a follow-up as well.
I love these frogs. Are you a full-out frog gamer, or are you a classic old border gamer? How your frogs? Which frogs do you run?
I have normal art frogs.
You're a normal art frogger. This is what we got here. We got Jack running the normal art frogger. It does genuinely look like a straight other different card completely with Will on the full art. But I guess that's what alt arts are supposed to reference. But
yeah, they're reminiscent of the same card, right? But they look different enough. But
Charizards always look like a Charizard. That's one thing I'd say on that particular one. So dealing with the Axion was the main thing in this matchup, because it's like playing a bit of parity, and Will's got better tools now, but the Axion is the one that actually, or Archon, it was the one that actually changes it. I got Pokemon on the mind calling it Archeon. That's kind of like, that's kind of how it would come across. And difficult decision on how to do block share, because like ultimately will like eat your whole board if you block in a weird way. But
yeah, I think Jack only with 1 card in hand, Will with 3 cards in hand. So Will in front.
That's one of the messiest mills I've ever seen.
Yeah, so 4 spells off the Overlord itself, but there is a Solitude in there that we can pick up.
So if you're in the chat and you are a fan of Chad Magic, because you've just joined us to see Jack, obviously Jack is doing great today on 4-1. Obviously give him a shout out if you are Team Jack and you are Team Chad Magic. If you are Team Will, obviously, yeah, like go Will, right? Like we are. I think the way it works out is if Will goes 6-1, you can draw. Anything else, we'll be playing through the 8 rounds.
Even with a draw, as we said. even if Will does ID at any point, we will get someone on camera.
Yeah.
We're going to have
we're doing all the way to the final today, folks.
high-level Magic all day. No breaks.
This is all our kit. No one's going home until we're chucked out. And even the kit's staying because we're coming home tomorrow. Phil, hi, good friend. Hello, good to see you. Are obligated to support Jack contractually. That is fine. The Ultra Pro sleeves are quite fire, so I appreciate you needing to contractually oblige into that.
So Solitude evoked on the Psychic Frog and Thought Scour in response. Psychic Frog has been dealt with, so we've got an Overlord ticking down and impending. We have an Emperor of Bones that has a Flicker Wisp sitting underneath it.
And
obviously,
and it can eat a Solitude as well, but looks to come in soon.
Yeah, so this Emperor of Bones can pick up a Solitude. We can then use that to exile the Psychic Frog, if that is where we want to go with this, or even if we could pick up an Archon, that would be a nice place to be. But Thoughtseize sees Emperor of Bones and Relic of Progenitus, so taking Will's Bone Man away.
Yeah, because Will would do a lot more damage with theirs, I would say. So, but there is, I think, do we see Archons in Jack's graveyard there?
No, I don't think there's any Archons. I think there's some Persists, there's a Thought Scour and a Spell Pierce, but no big thing for Jack to reanimate as of yet.
And
Jack just deciding whether to attack with the Emperor. Missed the combat trigger potentially, so didn't actually exile any card with that. So missed the opportunity to take the Solitude and then adapt it to kill the Psychic Frog.
But the frog can go in response, right? The frog can stop you.
Yeah, so you can always just give the frog flying and take away your own resources, but you want to force the issue on that. Of course, you don't
course.
You don't want the option of another Overlord being able to pick up the Solitude.
Yeah, the Overlord's ticking down, and Jack's got just the one in hand. They are the Edge of Eternity Ultra Pro Apex sleeves. Very nice. Also, other sleeves are available.
So tapping Relic,
taking the whole,
just taking one away.
Yeah.
So we might see a similar game here that Will played against Jose earlier in the day. Jose also on Grixis Reanimator.
Yeah.
Where the Relic is sort of held to counter a Persist or an Unearth on an Oculus or a Archon.
It's so interesting how these decks come like out of the gate and then like they slow down.
Yeah, we had a flurry of action at the start of this game with Thoughtseize, Spell Pierce, Psychic Frog, everything like that. And now we're starting to get into the grindy stage of things here. So we're adapting the Emperor of Bones and Flicker Wisping away the Philia. That looks like it was on Will's upkeep. So Philia will be returning on the end step, but it means we have one more turn where we don't need to deal with the Overlord scam. Looks like a Thoughtseize that Will drew. So two cards in hand for Jack. No lands played last turn, so it might be worth firing that off. But Will is down to 12 life, so that's not irrelevant in the face of a Flicker Wisp. Obviously, Psychic Frog can deal with it quite nicely. I think Will just passing the turn back there. Cycling an Unearth. So let's see what's been picked up. The Flicker Wisp goes away, the Philia comes back. Faithless Looting. So we're hoping from Jack's side to see pretty much exactly Archon Persist here.
Yes.
Will just deciding if he wants to activate the Relic now or wait. So there is a world where you try and just chew the graveyard apart, but to be honest, there's nothing relevant in there. So even pre-Faithless Looting, it looks like there's not really going to be any motivation here to activate that Relic.
Yeah.
So just tapping the Relic in response to the Faithless Looting, just to get the extra card, just in case. But
it consistently will always work in Will's favour as well, won't it? Just having more in exile.
Is going to exile the Relic in response to the Faithless Looting. So this could go badly if there's a big threat discarded off of this Faithless Looting, which is then immediately persisted. And we have a
has been persisted and is dunk.
That is the Archon. So
that was a dunk of the slam variety.
Yeah, so if Will didn't activate the Relic in response to the Faithless Looting, we could have activated it in response to the Persist. But we are in the 6th round today. I'm not sure anyone is going to play perfectly for all that time.
No.
But Archon having quite a big impact on this board. We're gonna go up a card. So Psychic Frog goes away. I think Will's just hoping to be able to untap and attack with this Philia, start churning with the Overlord of the Baelmerk. Thoughtseize was discarded to that trigger as well. Will playing around Oculus? Yeah, I think that is reasonable. That's the choice, right? Is off the Fatalist looting, you exile it to stop an Oculus being found and then hardcast.
And also, we were already down in Axion, so like your math numbers are...
Yeah, the Archon is slightly less likely because there's one been dealt with already, but there is a Solitude, and Jack hasn't been exiling cards with this Emperor of Bones, so the Philia with the Overlord of the Baelmerk is at least going to be able to pick up a Solitude. You do lose the Philia, it just gets blocked by the Archon. Oh no, the Relic was activated, so the Solitude has gone away now. So currently the graveyard for Will is just Fetch Land, Thoughtseize, Psychic Frog. So we'd need to natty a Solitude off the top from this Overlord trigger.
It's then a
Yeah, there is a massive difference between like misplaying and play and making the wrong play.
Yeah.
And I think like, yeah,
Hindsight's 2020, right? Where we can go, oh, well, activating the Relic was wrong, but I think at this point in the game, whether it was an Oculus being hardcast or an Archon being reanimated, either one was just going to be bad for Will and really hard to deal with. So lost that coin flip.
and just like this, like Will's on 4, and you know, that's how these games can switch. You can have the advantage and just suddenly then be on the back foot and staring down defeat.
Yeah, so Flickwisp hit the Overlord of the Baelmerk, so we will have that trigger happening on end step. I think Will's just mathing out the next turn, trying to hope he can survive through the Archon attack.
Yeah, or because Archons come in, things are going. You have responses, Will. I'm not sure.
Thrown the Philia away to do the Flickwisp trick on the end step. So Overlord trigger, we can always get this Philia back, but we did find a Solitude.
So now
There are also no other cards in hand, I believe. So Flickwisp is going to re-enter, and Will is going to scoop it up. I think the best choice there is to...
just to reset, start again.
Well, the best choice there was to Flickwisp the Archon, probably. So they get the enter the battlefield trigger off it re-entering, obviously, but they were going to get that off of the Archon attacking. I think even with that, there's just no way that Will wins that game. So hindsight being 2020, we didn't want to crack the Relic there, but then there's every chance that Jack just drew an Oculus and killed you with that instead.
And we've seen this matchup player with earlier, and ultimately, yeah, Will just needs to stay on top of those things that are bigger than his
and draw a lot of Solitudes.
And draw a lot of Solitudes. Yeah, drawing Solitudes wins you this matchup. Really, talking about winning, obviously, yeah, as you see in the chat, if you want to win some Magic Online points, we are going to activate the next giveaway when we hit 631 subs on YouTube. So, little sub check. Obviously, it's free to do it. I'm not talking about a Twitch sub. You should already be Twitch sub to Will here on Twitch. Go check us out there on YouTube. Drop us a sub. We do Magic Online content. We do Magic paper content. And when we hit 631, to this Twitch chat and to the YouTube chat. So if you're on YouTube, you've just got to click one button. On Twitch chat, you just got to click 2. You got to follow the link, and then you got to press hit sub. Once we get the 631, we'll activate it. We'll do a giveaway to the chats for some Magic Online points. 120 points. That is like a league, right? And a league's like a tenner. So, like, you know, we're giving you £10.
A reasonable amount of play points.
£10, $10. Like, you know,
do some vintage cubes with that.
Just for chilling in a chat and typing a few
just words. For hanging out with us today and watching some paper Magic. What a world.
In the arena, we did obviously take the roaming cam last week. We did take a little break ourselves because ultimately we're human beings, and I'm also quite old, so therefore we needed some refreshment. But the Draft Cup is heading into the later stages.
Small peek behind the curtain. Our break for refreshments consisted of Dave snorfing a chicken burger quicker than I've ever seen anyone ever before.
Toaster, you dropped. Were you here? Well, come comms there if you've dropped. But it's in the name. I snorted a chicken burger. But we also checked out the Draft Cup. That's getting to later stages. Commander actually is based in Cardiff. No, it's not based in Cardiff, Saviour. I'm based in Cardiff, so is Scott, and so is Firestorm Games. We're
hosting this lovely.
We're hosting this event today.
However, Axion are the ones running it and doing all the the really hard work. But
Yeah.
they're based in Amersham, and they run tournaments all around the UK called Mega Moderns. They also do our Command Fests as well.
Correct. Which is coming up on the 27th, 28th. You can follow the Axion links that have been followed through the chat. Pick up your tickets now. This will be Spider-Man. If anybody's seen the news about Spider-Man, product is going to be like a gold mine.
Seems to be.
So you can pick up the draft ticket pricing, where basically you can draft Spider-Man all weekend for probably a lower price than the sealed product's going to cost you on the likely secondary markets.
Yeah, that seems to be the way it's going. It seems that it's going to be quite hard to pick up, and all the cards, if there's any of those cards are impactful in standard, then we're going to have a great time getting hold of them.
Exactly. And also they might be impactful in Modern in time for the next Mega Modern, which will come up after next Command Fest and sometime this weekend, once we are told by the tall Frenchman himself. We're allowed to tell you. We'll tell you about this, the final Mega Modern of the year, the final chance you've got to automatically qualify for the Invitational, rack up them points, and be ready for that. The Invitational, as we can reveal, is coming in December after we've all played a GP, after we've all hit our final Mega Modern, done our RCs. We'll have a nice little end of year thing. And if you want to see this coverage at the Invitational, I need you to follow all of our socials. So that's Will Hall, that's Oldie Dave. I need you to say, hey, Axion, I love the coverage this weekend.
Please do more.
Please do more, because it's all good. What's Will playing? Obviously, we're not revealing Decklists because it's closed Decklist, but what we can tell you from coverage, Will is on like an Esper Blink. So just imagine Will's on stock Esper Blink.
Yeah, by and large, it seems to be mostly stock.
Like we can't really say, like Riddler's not like a weird card anymore. We've definitely seen it once or twice. It's been very, very impactful.
And Jack is one game up in this set
on Grixis Reanimator.
Grixis Reanimator, so has been taking down some of the challenges on Magic Online recently and has been doing really, really well. Jack taking another mulligan, so down to 5. But from Will's perspective, obviously, we're here to play Magic. You want to play your games and obviously win, but if your opponent mulligans to 5, you're not gonna cry about it.
No.
You take the wins how they come. This is part of the variance of the game.
Sure.
In the same way that someone could top deck a removal spell when they absolutely need to. Like we saw Will do himself, he top decked the Wrath of the Skies.
That changed the course of the day, to be fair.
Yeah, exactly. And this is part of playing what is functionally an A plus B combo deck. You want Unearth plus Oculus or Persist plus Archon. Obviously, there are ways that you can move around within that. You can Emperor of Bones the Archon. If you persist a Psychic Frog, it's not exactly good, but it's at least okay.
Makes it happen, right?
Yeah. So that's part of the power of this Grixis deck. Is
I don't think Jack likes this multi-5 either.
No, doesn't seem to.
That face of what's the other thing it feels like this would have been a great 6 because they don't know what they want to get rid of to make it 5.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they might be leaving themselves vulnerable to Thoughtseize. That was them.
It's the hand.
The hand to the hate has just made the biggest meme of the internet on Jack Goldsworthy. But think again, Jack, and then we'll get you back. You got it. Scott's just got to go fix. Definitely one for the Chat Magic boys to get on the Twitter. Jack knows the content. The boys will have the content. Oh, that was good. Well done, guys. Well, so yeah, we are still thinking about this mulligan.
Are we working?
We are working. Yeah.
Fortunately, Will now has the knowledge that if he puts the L symbol with his hand up to the camera, it will make it zoom in on him.
Yeah.
So Will now has that knowledge, which is dangerous.
Hey, look, at the end of the day, the more memes, the more content.
Clips we get out of this and the more YouTube shorts we can farm from this, the better. So
Relic's good. Relic's a good turn 1.
What have we got? I've just come back from fixing that, obviously, but
Relic turn 1, a not happy multi-5. Took a long time to decide over that.
Yeah, fetch land, I assume, for a Svetland.
One land go, though.
Ooh. Didn't look at the cards, so we'll allow just a little rewind. Also, Will and Jack are players that know each other, so...
Not their first rodeo.
Yeah, indeed not. There was no card drawn there, so that little rewind is absolutely fine. We're finding an Undercity Sewers and getting a nice little Surveil.
Yeah, Will's kept on one lander there, and I think it was just a decision on I want Relic.
Yeah, Relic is obviously extremely valuable. That's a Torpor Orb.
Yeah, Torpor Orb, yeah.
So we're going to shut down our own Archon Enter the Battlefield triggers.
We're going to shut down all of Will's stuff.
Yeah, but Will's deck basically ceases to function in the face of this. So, Overlord of the Baelmerk, Torpor Orb says creatures entering the battlefield don't cause abilities to trigger, I believe. So Overlord of the Baelmerk being impended does work through it.
Yeah,
but then it enters as an enchantment. But flickering it doesn't work.
Yeah.
I'm just going to double check the text on Torpor Orb as well. We are sitting here. Yeah, it's creatures entering the battlefield don't cause abilities to trigger.
That's strong. So Philia's attack trigger will go.
Yeah, Philia's attack trigger works. Will's doing the scam trick of, that's fine, the Torpor Orb's fine, we'll evoke a Solitude and keep it.
Like, it's what you need, right? Like
back in the glorious Omnath days, I was playing against our resident mill player Finley, who bravely slammed a Torpor Orb on turn 2, and I untapped and evoked 2 Furies and killed them with them.
Hey, Magical, good to see you. Good to see you. We've seen you previously in Spike's chat. I am Old Demo Dave here with 11's MTG. We are doing the commentary for Will today this is the Mega Modern in Cardiff.
An actual factual live tournament.
Factual.
Not even a delay. Not even a minute's delay on this.
And also, if you've got Prime, sub in here gets you to watch for free. But if you've got YouTube Premium, you can also go check us out on the YouTube channel as well. Good to see you. Thanks for popping in. And we've got the
persisted Archon with no enter the battlefield either. Yes, an absolutely glorious beard. Yeah, I'm not disagreeing.
We chatted, and I think he said the last time he was actually on his own stream was 2021. like physically chatting, because we went out with a roaming cam. So yeah, glorious, very glorious beard. This game is now over, unfortunately.
Yeah, so over might be a little bit of a stretch. We could see Prismatic ending on the Torpor Orb and then Solitude the Archon, but a tap land is not what we want to see. This Archon is going to start chewing Will's hand apart, and it is going to take away the Solitude as well. So I think the thing to do here is attack with the Solitude, just take the 3 life. It's going to get eaten by the Archon, but it'll be eaten by the Archon attack anyway. So we're going to need to see a removal spell for this Torpor Orb into removal spell for the Archon. It looks like there is another Solitude in hand as well, and a Thoughtseize. So Thoughtseize can help clear the way a little bit.
Look, let's remember Jack went down to 5, right? So Jack's resources are...
Yeah, this was a hell of a mulligan to 5.
Yeah. So the resources are not plentiful. So
I think just judging off the graveyard, obviously, we can't see it perfectly as it is behind Jack's face cam. I think Jack Thoughtseize themselves to put the Archon in the bin and then persist in it.
That's hot. That's Pioneer Greasefang territory, that is, and we all know my vibes for that.
An old reanimator trick from back in the day where you could Thoughtseize your own Grizzlebrand out of your hand before I'm Bellry or racing it. But gone are those days. Our reanimation spells cost 2 mana now, and Will, I think, just deciding if it's worth casting this Thoughtseize. I think Jack with only 2 cards in hand now, so would have been brave. Jack draws the extra card. Will is discarding that Thoughtseize, so we take 3 off the trigger and then 5 off the attack. So we're down to 12. You can tell Will's concentrating as he hasn't updated our tablet with the live scores, but that's fine. We'll allow it.
Because I think there's a very difficult line for getting back here, which might even just been slammed shut with our Bones.
Yeah, Emperor of Bones can take a Solitude away, and we can sit and wait on that. It's yet another thing for Will to deal with, but a Fatal Push cleans it up quite nicely. Prismatic Ending straight off the top, passing the turn back. This Overlord is ticking down, so step 1 has been answered. Ashiok discarded to the Archon trigger. The last card in hand, I'm fairly sure, is a Solitude. So if Will's got a white card on top, we might be alive here. Another Emperor of Bones.
Okay.
White card on top.
Thank you, Jack.
That is a Psychic Frog.
That's a
Not
GG.
Quite.
That's a GG. That is tough. That was...
On a mulligan to 5 is really impressive.
A mulligan. Jack Goldie moves to 5-1, but some probably 1 game away from top 8. Will's still very, very, very much live. just basically needs to just keep playing Magic and win games of Magic.
Yeah, so ending 6-2 is
doable.
Absolutely doable.
Fantastic.
Eight rounds today into a top 8 cut. So we will have Magic for you all day.
But what we're going to do, we're going to head to the short break screen where we're going to set up the roaming cam. We're going to try to get hold of Jack for a little quick interview, go see what else is happening. Whilst that's happening, we're going to play a bit of a break because we ideally don't want ads during the coverage. But I'm all doing my day. This is 11's MTG, and we will see you shortly.